This is my home. Also, this is where my life had changed forever, especially for my family. Often it comes to mind while I'm still in bed and early in the morning, and sometimes at all times of the day. I would say it was around 3 or 4 in the morning. I was fading in and out of sleep, not that I ever get much anyway, but I was still in hospital at this juncture. I remember feeling a slight poke in my arm, and it was a nurse drawing blood. I had become so numb to so many things physically by this point, setting itself essentially. I remember asking them to lift me up into a sitting position so that way I could better see the TV, but it was really so I could take the time to look out the window. It was just at a street and driveway combo of all things, and I really wanted to try to understand what this meant. At this point I was actually able to sit and somewhat move on my own, something that I took for granted for so many years. It meant that I could feel. Actually feel. More importantly, it was something that I had not been able to do in some months. So what do you remember most about the night of the collapse?
I remember it was a shock. We were terrified. We didn't know what had happened, and all we knew was that we had to get our son to the doctor, to the hospital.
And how long was he in a coma for?
He was in for about almost 2 months.
So after hearing that from the doctors and going through what you did with them, what were the hopes and expectations, if any, other than just him waking up?
The expectations, first of all, of course, the waking up, but that his body would be strong enough to be able to do the things that and get around and move and be able to walk, and that his mental state would be strong, and that he would be able to understand and do the things that he had done before.
And when he began waking from that coma state, were you or your husband present for that, or did they call you and let you know?
I was there, and I believe he had started to come out of it a little bit, maybe prior to us being there, but I was there when he was waking up. But it was kind of rough because they had to start, removing things from him. He was still on the tubes and everything, but it took a little time for them to get all that done. But he seemed to be able to acknowledge once he was awake. He knew who we were, and it just was so much hopefulness there because he was recognizing things.
It's now been 3 years since the collapse of your son. How is he doing, and more importantly, how are you as a mother doing?
He's doing wonderfully well. He stays very busy. He's going to college. He's pursuing a career with wrestling, and he's just doing wonderfully.
Well, now that life seems to be venturing on in the right direction, where do you foresee your son going in the future in your mind?
He has a lot of opportunity. Live production, Broadway, professional sports, Hollywood blockbusters, and of course, what's the most greatest thing in the world to be involved in is professional wrestling. All of these things are things that he is very interested in, that he could do very well. So the sky is the limit for him at this point in time. Filming of things, to produce it and go forward with it would be wonderful as well. He's very good at it, very professional. It would be a great job as well. So sky's the limit.